Welcome to You Guys to Laugh to Keep from Crying. My name is O.W. Sweeney, and I'm here with my co-host, a brother, an old friend, Richard Courts. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing well, being at your side.
I hear you.
Brother O.W.
Sweeney.
Sweeney.
And while you're here on my side,
Yeah.
let's get to North Carolina.
Triad
Jobs with Justice.
Justice.
Where you can reach us at
336-272-2758
or email
right at NC Triad Jobs with Justice at gmail.com.
Now we're here with Lenora Brookdorfer and David Smith from Indivisible. Yes, thank you for getting the words out that I can't get out of my mouth.
We brought you a lot of tongue twisters today.
I tend to say that sometimes,
Okay.
too, but it's Indivisible. Guilford County.
Guilford College, an
Guilford County.
organization that stands up and put out good information to let people know where the fight is and who's on the wrong side of it and who's doing us, the working class people of the United States of America. Now, Lenore, would you like to say a few quick words?
Sure. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for inviting us to share this afternoon with you. As you know, Indivisible is a group of people that we are fighting for the justice in our country, and we are trying to do as much as we can to get the information out because it is a very important time and a life-changing time for this country.
Dave?
Yeah, I think the people see a lot of what we do as, you know, the events and stuff that we have as far as protests and all of that, which has been really, really big in this past year. And we love doing that stuff. We love engaging the community that way. But we also really want people to be focused on all the work that we have to do behind the scenes, all the things we need that community to then engage with. It's great to have that energy and to have those moments together, but the really important, the meat and potatoes of what we do is getting those people who are motivated and want to move our community forward and run for office and actually work for the people from office. We want to know who those people are. We want to help promote them and get them into office so that we can get these people out of office that are in there not working for us.
Oh, so I guess you're talking about your president there, huh?
And that's local, state, and all the way up, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm going to want to join in with my enthusiasm about Indivisible Guilford County and Indivisible USA, and to the extent that it's around the world. And my enthusiasm about it is based on the fact that there were 3 million people in the hands-off demonstration in April. There were 5 million people in the first No Kings demonstration, and there were at least 7 million people around the United States in the October 18th No Kings demonstration. And my enthusiasm about Indivisible is based on what it has done to resist the fascist drive led by Donald Trump and in the United States. That's of vital importance because before Indivisible and a few other groups that joined in various parts of the country and so on, I think that people were cowed, just like nations around the world have been cowed by these fascist bullies, similar to Adolf Hitler, really. And the initial thing has been to back off. And what Indivisible has done is to provide a backbone and a place where you can become part of the backbone of the struggle against fascism and tyranny in the United States, led by your
Donald
favorite
Trump.
guy. I mean, I'm sorry,
Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump, right? Exactly. So, and then
And
the
I
last
often
thing.
wonder when I say that name, do people really realize what they elected? Who they put in there?
Well, I think they're realizing it more and more, and Indivisible is playing a key role as you pointed out earlier, providing information, but also providing a vehicle for struggle. And that is even more important, because before we have to act, whether we are acting from our reading, our study, or we're acting from our experience. And then our eyes are opened by the struggle that we wage, the just struggle that's being led in many respects, in many areas, by Indivisible today against these fascist forces. And so I was particularly, and then I'll be quiet for a bit instead of being a babbling brook. And that is that I was particularly struck by the 3 demonstrations that took place around January 6th in Greensboro and around the country, in many parts of the country, by Indivisible Guilford County here, to come out with the commemoration of the 5th anniversary of this insurrection by the Trump fascist forces. I'm trying to be nice on TV, and then the murder of Ms.
Renee Good.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, Ms. Good in Minneapolis, and the vicious role that the Trump administrators like Kristi Noem and Kash Patel and so on, and these people and Vice
puppets.
President, yeah, the various, his coterie, his clique. So, I'd like it if you would share with our viewing audience a little bit about each of those 3 demonstrations and how quickly they were able to be organized here in Greensboro by Indivisible Guilford County. And my congratulations to the organization for that. Really, really impressive. And such needed protests.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that has happened, especially with the January 6th, is one of our members came up with the idea, are we doing anything for January 6th? In a matter of 2 to 3 days, we organized that January 6th, and we always have to give notice to the police department that where we're going to be, and they want 24 hours notice. So that is the key, to do anything, and we need to make sure that we're able to be out there in presence. And we had a nice turnout, and it wasn't a cold night. We got lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, we got really lucky on January 6th that we were not freezing cold.
Right.
But we all came out. We supported the movement,
Right.
and part of this too is just the education of the general population of what we need to be doing.
Well, the fact is that when you commemorate the 5th anniversary of that that rotten,
It was a riot.
rotten counter-revolutionary
Yes.
riot, then what you're fighting against, what Trump himself is now literally rewriting
Trying
the history.
to retry.
Trying to
Trying to
thank you.
rewrite
Yeah,
history
exactly.
of-
Trying to rewrite the history of January 6th.
And the amazing thing is you're talking about January 6th, a incident which he, in my opinion, incited, or whatever the word is supposed
both.
to be. Now he's turning on the people in Minnesota where they are standing up peacefully protesting. Now, this ICE murderer,
Yeah.
I can't think of a better word to call him than that, got in front of a vehicle, and they have said, and I don't know why they don't push it, on the television they've said that they are trained not to get in front of a vehicle. They're trained. But yet he got in front of a vehicle, hold on, not only was he in front of that vehicle, he was filming it.
And if you watch, he very smoothly switches his phone from his right hand, which he's going to shoot from, to his left hand as he positions himself, and then his hand goes down to his holster to prepare for exactly what he was preparing to do.
Murder.
So for anyone to say that that wasn't in any way
Premeditated.
premeditated, they don't understand how to use their eyeballs.
And furthermore, they had said this officer had previously been hit by a car. Now, explain to me. Once you jump in water, you know you get wet. So if you don't want to get wet, you don't jump in water no more. But he deliberately got in front of her, and she was talking to another officer while she was driving, and he jumped in front of her. My thing is, was he trying to commit suicide? No, he was preparing to commit murder.
Yeah.
And to go back to the events that we had for January 6th and for Renee Good, I mean, it, like Lenora said, it was a couple days, maybe 2 days, that we put the event for the 6th together. And I want to clarify, when we say commemorate, we were commemorating the officers and the people who showed up and stood up to protect our Capitol, to protect our members of Congress, and who lost their lives or were very badly injured in that attack. We're not commemorating the event. We want to remember what happened so we don't forget and we learn from it. But we want to commemorate those people who stood up and did the right thing on that day. And we had about a little over 100 people show up in 2 days' notice for that. Nicole Good gets shot, and then we have an event we put together again in a matter of days to get people out and organized on that. Had about 200 people show up for that.
And you had more.
About 500 people showed up for that. And then our regular Saturday event, that was on the 10th, everyone was putting out these ice out events. So we switched our format to that, and we had about 200 or so people that came out for that. And that was a rainy, dreary, cold Saturday morning, but people showed up, and people want to show up for this stuff. And the greatest thing that I experienced at all of those events, and all of them that we've done in the last year, is the people who come up to me. This is my first time coming to this, but I just had to do something. What else can I do? What's next? Not like what's the next protest? Like, what's the tangible thing that I have to do next? How can I plug in? How can I stay connected to you or organizations that are doing good work and go and help them? So that is the most important thing that I always emphasize, is the only way you defeat fascism and tyranny and all the awful things that are happening in our country is by building community. If you have a solid community, as you said, that's the backbone of resistance, it can't be beat, and it will prevail. And that's one of the things that Indivisible is all about.
Well, you made a statement that people wanted to join. Do y'all have a website or information you can give to people in case they want to join you?
Yep.
In our audience?
Yes, we do, and we have a weekly newsletter that you can go onto our website and sign up and get the weekly newsletter. And not only does that newsletter...
Excuse me for cutting you off, but what is that website they can go on? Give them the...
It's indivisiblegco.com.
Yeah.
Repeat that again.
Say, yeah.
indivisiblegco.com.
Indivisible, GDO.
GCO, Guilford County,
Indivisible,
GCO.
GCO.
.com.
Okay.
And
So-
everything's on there.
Everything. But so I was going to say, in addition to the demonstrations, the protests, the rallies, there's another section on the weekly newsletter that talks about actions. What actions can we be doing as a community and creating awareness? Because we know that the protests and the rallies bring out a certain group of people. Not everybody can do those because of jobs and family commitments.
Right.
But there are plenty of things that need to be getting our people involved and awareness and creating the opportunities, and that's what we're doing.
And just
So are y'all encouraging people to check out who you're going to vote for
Oh,
in
yes.
the next election?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, learn about your candidates, make sure you're registered, and that there isn't anything funny about your registration. I know this past Supreme Court election, they were trying to invalidate a bunch of votes. One of those votes was mine because the DMV did not properly transfer all of my information over to the Board of Elections. So I came down here and I made sure it was right. So people need to realize that that is still a problem on a lot of people's voter registration. They need to go online and check, or they can contact us, and we have people who can help them figure out if they're registered, or come to one of our events. We can check and make sure that they're registered properly, because not only do we need you to get out to vote, but we need to make sure it's ironclad and there is no way that anybody can throw anybody's vote out.
And I like to say the best way to do that is vote in every election, regardless of what it is.
And also, when we are talking about some state elections, primary elections, the national elections, some people just only look at the top half of the ballot. One of our big educational processes is to read and become informed on the whole ballot. Don't just vote for the top 2 people you see. Be smart, be educated, and be informed.
Yeah, that's why I'm so big on the actions that you take, because to do what you're talking about now, which is a very valuable thing, is a much more difficult thing when you're going up against monopoly capitalism and their educational system and their political system.
Miseducational system, I might add.
Right, and fine, that's fine to add. So I think that's and I want to mention to our viewers again that on October 18th, when you were out there with the bullhorn, David, and I was in the middle of the most dense part of the crowd, we had over 3,000 members of Guilford County in that demonstration. So when Lenora and David are talking about the numbers at these demonstrations that were called within a couple of days, that's very impressive. But behind it is also this 3,000 people contingent that we had under their leadership on October 18th. And let me just make this point, because I was trying to
make it plain. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And that is, I want our viewers to understand that Indivisible is not a Democratic Party organization. It's not a Republican Party organization. It's and the
it's a people.
It's a people. It's a people's organization, and it's an anti-fascist and anti-kings organization
for justice.
And that's the basis for being involved.
Yeah.
Is to act in opposition to tyranny, and as we like to say, for justice.
Okay. So. Now, I just want to add that when those people showed up out there in that massive number, what it shows is to terrorize, in my opinion, to terrorize those who are in power who are doing wrong. Now, when these demonstrations are called, it should be a massive amount of people out there, because this is how you put fear into the leadership, because when they see your unity, they don't want you to be unit. They want you to be afraid, and that's why you see all these big forces of ISIS going into place, because they're trying to put fear into you.
Yeah, I would caution us in using the words terror.
Right.
From what our goal is. We are not trying to terrorize them. I completely understand what you're saying. We want them to think very deeply 3 times, 4 times before they make decisions, because they are seeing this mass of this peaceful people power that is coming out in droves on the regular, consistently, to oppose them. We are not domestic terrorists, as they would like to call us.
No.
They are, but
they are.
I should say you're terrorizing them.
But I want to be careful with that
Yes,
language.
I understand what you're
It's-
saying.
yeah.
I agree
but
with that.
the same fear they're trying to put into you is when you show up like that, is the fear you put into them.
We want them afraid to lose their position, to lose their power, to lose their support.
Right.
In hopes, in a regular circumstance, it would be to get them to change their platform and start voting the way of the people and start making policies the way the people want them to. In this instance, we do want them to tuck tail and run. We want that whole White House to just vacate immediately, and I don't know what the solution is then when they're all gone and succession can't be what it normally is.
You make it sound like they went yesterday wasn't soon enough.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But the other thing that I was trying to say is that the Democratic Party victory in the November 4th election
Yes.
was directly not the results of what the Democratic Party had done. They hadn't done crap, basically. And it was much more a result of what Indivisible in the United States and other groups that were maybe in different places associated themselves with the Indivisible effort. Those statistics I mentioned, 3 million in April, 5 million in June, and 7 million in October. That was the key to those victories on November 4th for the Democratic Party. And the danger is that we end up relying on the corporate Democrats like Schumer, who had nothing to do with that victory, but who was being given credit by the monopoly media that's on the Democratic side of it. So we need to be clear. The value, and this is why you can see how much I value the Indivisible movement, because it was that movement, not even the education, but the struggle that was waged by that movement out on the streets that produced the encouragement among the masses of the U.S. that we can defeat these fascist tyrants.
And I think also, back to the November elections, I know that there was a lot of emphasis on just getting people out to vote, educating, canvassing, passing out literature, doing lit drops, because that, just speaking for the city council elections here in Greensboro, Indivisible played a key role in getting some of the people elected. And if it wasn't for the grassroots and the on the ground, feet on the ground movement, we would probably have not had the victories that we had here in
Well,
Greensboro.
you're proving my point.
Yes.
Which is that it's the deeds, as the saying goes.
Yes.
By their deeds you shall know them.
Yeah.
And that's where Indivisible has shone. And so I want to point that out, because the struggle between the corporate wing, which has been the predominant wing of the Democratic Party, which is connected to the same Wall Street rulers that the Republican Party, maybe other than some of the fascist elements, is connected to. That if we better not fall asleep and fail to recognize who was actually making this movement move in the direction of stopping fascism and tyranny in the United States.
Yeah, and I think the national leadership in Indivisible, Ezra and Lee would very much agree with you that is the purpose, that is the mission of Indivisible, is to reshape the Democratic Party to a party that's actually for the people, that is full of progressive people who want to make progress. Progressive has been turned into this evil word, like it's bad to make progress. That's what it's for. It's to move us forward, to make us better, a more perfect union, if you will. I just made that up.
On the fly here.
Phrase, right?
And they would use some words that we can't use here on television for describing how they feel about that corporate arm of the Democratic Party that's out there. So that is the nationwide movement, is like Lenora pointed out, what we did here locally for our city council and government. That is absolutely everywhere, and we are mobilizing everybody to be a part of it.
And I want to just say one thing about Mamdani. He's the exception. Mamdani's campaign had their own momentum that was connected to, but not dependent upon, Indivisible. And so he was a democratic socialist who actually led a real mobilization of the people in his city.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't know if everybody got this here on the news. I know the system we got home, we can get channels all over this country. In New York, recently, I think in the last few days, ICE officer was arrested by the police, New York City police, for some of the action he was taking. I haven't got the full story because they only give you a little clips of it. But and he was talking to a guy, and one of the guys said, "I'm calling Mondami because he wanted them to take action against the ICE agent."
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so
I understand what the ICE agent can do. I almost can go so far as say what they doing could be right if they knew the right way to do it instead of terrorizing people.
Yeah. I certainly hope that is the change we're going to see with localities in
Yes,
that when these
yes,
people
yes.
show up and they are breaking the law, that our local police and law enforcement will recognize that and act upon it, because they took an oath to a constitution to defend against
And what
foreign
kills
and
me-
abroad foreign and domestic threats, and that is 100% what ICE is. It is a domestic threat to our safety and security.
And what kills me is that their leaders are telling them something that they're not listening to. They say you are immune from federal prosecution.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that state and local is not federal prosecution. You can be prosecuted under state law and local laws.
well,
And nothing the federal can do about it.
we're running out of time. And is there anything that you would like to let our audience know upcoming that is?
Yes, one of the things that we have, it will actually be this Monday over in the High Point Library, is educating, again, the Supreme Court, and our system of justices. In North Carolina, we have a very rigged system here.
Okay.
We're very gerrymandered, and the Supreme Court and our appellate court judges are the ones that we need to get elected.
And so you've given the place and the time.
Yes, it's at the High Point Library from 6 until 7:30.
Okay.
And there's a poster that will be showing at the end of the show.
Okay. Thank you.
You said
And
High
we're-
Point
no,
Library.
We're done now.
No, I understand what's being done, but say High Point Library. I don't know how many libraries High Point have. You mean the main library?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the central
yes,
one.
yes.
Yes.
And I'm glad we're together because
Right.
in our
Unity
Unity
lies our
lies
strength.